Hey everybody, it's Eric here with Spartan Auto Works. Today we're making a quick video. Basically it's a 2-month review of the Max IM608, which is the new Autel or rebranded Autel key programmer. So the backstory in this particular machine, I got this almost 2 months ago now, I guess. Went to use it. The first couple of keys I did that did not require the use of the actual coder, basically, or the transponder coder, worked out great. Just going through the immobilizer functions to program keys. We're gonna do a quick overview about what it comes with, what happened, and where we're at now. So it comes with quite a bit of stuff. It comes with a J box. It's going to come with 3 different USB cables. There's a heavy-duty USB cable, the generic USB cable, which I have hooked up to the programmer, and then there is a small pin USB as well. You're gonna get a whole bunch of chip plates, so you can, obviously read different chips by setting them on the plates. They have a technical name that escapes me at the moment. A pack of different cables, obviously some extra fuses, power adapter, and some other stuff here. You got your 8-pin chip clip. They also have the contactless one, or just the dip pin one as well in there. So a whole bunch of cool stuff comes in that packet. Then you got some actual attachment cables to go onto like ECUs or solder on the board. Those are solder on the board, and then those you can slide over pins for like ECUs and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And then the coolest part of, I thought, the kit was this EIS Mercedes key reader. Have not got a chance to use this successfully yet, but we'll get to that in a second. So I bought this tool, cost around $4,000. There's a few different places you can buy it. One of the things is I had a hard time finding anybody actually had it in stock. A lot of people said they had it, but nobody knew when they were getting it. So found a place, got it, and like I said, initial use, pretty impressed by just the walkthrough of the immobilizer system. Let's say you're doing I don't know, Chrysler. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just connect the VCI, it pulls the pin, and you're good to go. It basically completes the process for you. Different modes: smart mode, manual mode, and I don't know if it's going to let me actually go through any of these functions since we're not actually physically hooked to the car. And hopefully you can actually see that here. Manual selection. See what we got. You can choose what you're working on. We'll just say it's a PT Cruiser. It gives you different key types. Smart keys, blade keys, different ears. Obviously, have different programming techniques. One thing I've not been able to do, I also bought the IM508 because after I bought this, I owned it for about 10 days, and one of the things I bought it for was to do Mercedes keys, and went to try to do it, and it would not communicate with the key. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just that. I had a Volkswagen key to do, which is what I have in the burner now. Tried to do a Volkswagen key and would not communicate with the key. So figured it was something I was doing wrong. So I messed around with it. Tried it on some different cars. It would read RF signals, but would not read the actual transponder chips in the key. So finally, I just broke down, contacted Autel. We went through some steps. They said the software on my device was wrong and there's something wrong with the reader. So I had to send it all back. It took them a couple weeks. So by the time of shipping everything, I was gone or without it for probably close to a month. Not anybody's real fault. It just kind of sucks that sometimes that happens. So I need something to tie me over, and I was pretty impressed with the 608, what did work. So I bought the 508, which is a smaller version. It works great. It does not have as much chip functionality as this one does. It does not do the infrared key, stuff like that. It does have a smaller burner, but it is pretty much identical to this, except for some of the infrared keys and stuff like that. And it has limited attachments that you can connect to the dongle, basically. So I did do that on some Volkswagens, which we actually made a video about, which I actually love. If you do Volkswagen or Audi keys, they can always be a pain. As long as you can basically turn the ignition, you can read the data from the immobilizer and then basically choose which key that's already stored in the system, and then basically program a key. It takes just a couple minutes. So where are we at today? This is just a quick overview, just because I had some people asking what I thought about this particular tool. Where are we at today? Really do like the tool. It is very powerful. It does do basic diagnostics. One thing is I was not able to do any like pre-2006 pin code retrieval out of Chryslers, so I'm not sure if that's just an issue with this one or what have you, but I was not able to do any with that. But anything basically newer, I've had no problem. It's been pretty cut and dry. I mean, it's super simple actually. So if you're doing Chryslers, totally recommend this system. Like I said, pre-2006 you may have some issues. So this, like I said, just a quick overview of what it comes with. We're going to get into some Mercedes keys hopefully this week, and I'll do another review and see where we're at. Since I just got this back, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to mess with the Mercedes stuff yet. But just to show you that you can actually check your keys, because you always want to check your original key before you go cut a key. Make sure you're cutting the right key for whatever car you're doing. So if you go to key, it will do an automatic, let's see, key read write. It should be an automatic detection, and it will automatically detect it. So now the new burner that I have is working correctly. Obviously it tells you what it is, and then you can go in here and see the different information. But hopefully this week I'll get a chance to do an infrared Mercedes key, pull the EIS data out and see how that works, because those can be some of the most complicated keys. And we're also going to be doing another Audi smart key basically for Q6. So hopefully I'll be doing some videos on that, and then kind of update this and see where we're at. Because like I said, I've had this 2 months, but only really been able to use it for a month, and that was limited functionality. So for the first review, I do like it. I do recommend it. A lot of people ask me what's the most go-to key programmer to have, and unfortunately for anybody out there just starting to do keys, if you're looking for one good tool, so far I would say this is a good tool. But you're gonna have to unfortunately have a collection for any key type situation. Some key programmers do a better job than others. So if you're looking for a one tool does everything, you're not going to find this with this tool or any other tool for that matter. And sometimes you just have to go to the OE and get their stuff in order to do tools or to do keys. So anybody looking for a one key solution is not going to, this isn't it. But I will say this probably, if I had to guess, is probably one of the better tools on the market, and probably say covers, man, probably so far if I had to guess just from the functionality I've gotten out of it, I would say probably 80% of maybe the stuff on the market. I can tell you the one thing I was really impressed with, I used this last week to do a Transit Connect van. If you use JIDS, it does not even have PATS functions in it. Now when I went to do it, I will say this, so if you're running, it was a 2014 Connect, if you're doing it, I went through the whole procedure that was listed out in here, and then it said programming failed, but it actually took both keys and programmed both keys, and they worked just fine. So if you run through it and it fails, check your keys, because it actually did work even though the Autel said that it failed. It takes probably 3 minutes or so, I guess, if I had to go through the whole procedure start to finish to actually program the keys to the Transit Connect. But those things can be absolute nightmares to work on. If you ever are called out, you probably want to turn it down, because they're absolutely just, everything about them just sucks. But it actually did do the Transit Connect stuff, and in JIDS, if you get the rental, there is no PATS functions in it. So this did do it. Program, that's the smart, not smart key, but that's the blade key with the remote attached to it, whatever they call that. But it did, program the key and the fobs together, and they work just fine. So if you're looking for something like that, this is definitely an awesome tool. So that's going to be our quick overview of the IM608 for now. Like I said, I'm now that my tools come back and it's been repaired from Autel, which did absolute wonderful job. I'm not complaining on Autel's part. Unfortunately, sometimes bad products get delivered, and I'm totally understanding of that. But hopefully, I get to run back through some Mercedes here this week. I've got one customer bringing one in, so I'm hoping I have a key for that. Hopefully I can make another key for that, and this will go smoothly with that. So hopefully we'll get that recorded, and we'll come back and do another review after an Audi and Smart Key and the Mercedes key, and we'll give you kind of an update. But if you're looking for an overall good tool, if you're just getting into doing keys or locksmithing or what have you, obviously there's a big debate from everybody. What's the best tool? What's the best cutter? You got to find out what works for you. But if you're looking for a good solution for most of the cars out there, this is it. So if you have any questions, please subscribe below and comment, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. As I do more keys with this thing, I'm hopefully doing more videos. There's not a lot of stuff on this actual scan tool, but so far I like it. The IM608 is basically its little brother, and a quick overview on that. Spend the extra dollars. You can get that one for around $1,500. Spend the extra dollars, get the 608. It's got a much faster processor. The one thing I do not like about the 508, and I basically just keep it around the shop just to have as a backup at this point, but it is super slow. That is the one downfall, but at the price point you can't really argue. Basically has the same functionality. So I'll probably do a quick review on that, and I can show you guys how slow it is. But if you're looking for a good overall key tool, IM608, definitely check it out. There are going to be many vendors out there that are start carrying it now, since it is a newer tool or a newer rebranded tool from their old line. So like I said, we'll pick this up here in a little bit, and we'll do another review. Thanks, have a great day.